Hello, Internet! Bringing you some fresh Song of Ice and Fire theories, this is Mira Reads. This is the first in a series about Oberyn Martell. We will be looking at numerous elements of Oberyn's life, including his family and friends. Today, we will be discussing Sarella Sand and her connections to Marwyn the Mage and potentially his agents. For those who may be unfamiliar, Sarella Sand is the fourth sand snake, the daughter of Oberyn Martell. She has been posing as a man called Alleras and training to be a maester at the Citadel. The Laurellerual theory has been thoroughly covered elsewhere, so we won't spend time on it today. Instead, we will be discussing the potential identity of Sarella's mother and how her identity may play into the bigger picture of Marwyn's game. We know a few things about Sarella and her mother. In Feast, we learn that Sarella's mother is a Summer Islander and a traitor. In the prologue of Feast, Alleras, or Sarella, says, "I am no lord's son. I've told you that. My mother was a traitor," before Lazy Leo says something rude about her mother being a Summer Islander. In that same prologue chapter, we also see Sarella's expert demonstration in the use of a golden heart bow, a weapon favored by Summer Islanders. There is another prominent character who wields such a weapon, Kojja Mo of the Cinnamon Wind. Now, the fact that Sarella is the daughter of a traitor from the Summer Isles, and the fact that Kojja Mo is such a traitor, isn't enough evidence on its own to prove any sort of connection. But there are enough pieces of evidence to link the Cinnamon Wind to Marwyn and Kojja to Sarella, to take this idea from purely coincidental to highly likely. We first encounter Kojja Mo, captain of the Cinnamon Wind, in Clash, when he meets Jorah and Daenerys in Karth. Kojja brings them word from the Seven Kingdoms and learns of Daenerys' dragons. While any other trader might be interested to see Dany, it should not be lost on us that out of all the ships in the harbor, it is the Cinnamon Wind that is highlighted for us by the author. Preston Jacobs addresses this in one of his videos if you would like further details into that particular coincidence. Our next encounter with the Cinnamon Wind is in Braavos, when Sam is discovered by Zondo, also of the Cinnamon Wind. Kojja agrees to take Sam and company to Old Town, despite Sam having no money to pay for their trip. He says that Sam can work and sell him the books meant for the Citadel, but it's clear that the crew of the Cinnamon Wind are doing Sam an enormous favor. Sam is virtually useless as a sailor, and unless Kojja is well versed in what the maesters look for in books, he has no reason to believe that the books Sam carries have any particular value. The maesters may already have a dozen copies of the books that Sam is bringing. Taken at face value, Kojja's charity seems downright odd. But his offer begins to make sense when we consider that they may have been sent by Marwyn to find Maester Aemon. They would have confirmed the existence of the dragons for Marwyn 2 books prior, and now, with the use of his glass candle, Marwyn stays in contact with the Cinnamon Wind to aid in the collection of one of the last, and certainly most learned, of the Targaryens. We know that Aemon sent Sam to the docks in Braavos to ask about dragons. Sam's accent and appearance would have made it immediately obvious that he was Westerosi and potentially from the Night's Watch, at least to anyone at all familiar with Westerosi culture. Zondo serendipitously plucking Sam from the canal was in fact no accident. He had been tasked with following Sam or finding him, and then through Sam finding Aemon. It explains why Zondo wasn't angry with Sam over his ruined feather cape. It also explains why he brought Sam to the Cinnamon Wind and arranged passage, rather than demanding repayment for the cape on the spot. But what does any of this have to do with Sarella Sand and Kojja Mo? That's what this video is supposed to be about. From Sam's time on the Cinnamon Wind, we learn that Kojja Mo is very fond of babies and incredibly capable when caring for them. While it's not unthinkable for a woman without children to have a knack with babies, we know that Kojja is the captain of the ship's archers. Her main profession is as a warrior. While many women are comfortable with babies, warriors who don't have children of their own likely wouldn't be so eager to care for a stranger's child, especially at sea, and especially when the child has a history of seasickness. Babies are fussy, even on good days, and that would be enough to scare away any novice nanny. No, this particular behavior of Kojja Mo's tells us that she either cared for children before becoming a warrior, or, more likely, took a sabbatical from captaining the ship's archers to have a baby of her own. Kojja's behavior reminds me most of a middle-aged woman whose children are almost grown, so she's beginning to think of grandchildren. We can also connect Sarella directly with Maester Aemon. Before he dies, Aemon tells Sam, "The Sphinx is the riddle, not the riddler." We have already been told that Sarella's nickname at the Citadel is the Sphinx. It is possible that Marwyn sent this information to Aemon in a dream using a glass candle to help ensure that Aemon would come to Marwyn before sharing information with any of the other Archmaesters. So here's what we know so far. We know that Sarella is the daughter of a trader from the Summer Isles. We know that Sarella and Kojja are both extremely gifted with the Golden Heart bow. We know that Kojja is likely a mother, and that her child is likely old enough to drive Kojja into baby fever 2.0. We know that Sarella and the crew of the Cinnamon Wind are both likely connected to Marwyn and Old Town. In Sarella's case, we know it certainly. And finally, we must consider Oberyn, Sarella's father. He trained as a maester for a time before leaving the Citadel. He clearly has a fondness for outspoken and interesting women, particularly women who are open about their sexuality, like Alleras Sand. Kojja Mo certainly checks those boxes, being a warrior who unabashedly tells Sam how to handle his embarrassment over breaking his vows with Gilley. On the surface, it may seem like too great a coincidence for Kojja Mo to be Sarella Sand's mother, but given that George rarely deals in coincidences, I think it is far more likely that this relationship is not a coincidence at all. Kojja Mo has been in contact with Marwyn and Oberyn periodically throughout Sarella's life, and the Cinnamon Wind serves as an unobtrusive set of eyes for either or both of them in Essos. But tell me in the comments what you think. Is Kojja Mo the mother of Sarella Sand? If not, who might be? Do you have thoughts about the identities of the other mothers of the Elder Sand Snakes? Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter as we explore the theories surrounding Oberyn Martell and his family.